Hey Jay, how you doing? How's it going? Hey Sanchez, hey Robin, how you doing? Hey Nita. There's Daisy girl looking out. Daisy, you starting your day today, honey? Daisy girl. Daisy, what are you looking at, hon? I'm at the other end of town. The other end. I dropped off my cable box. If you want to, if you can't seem to get enough reading done, there's things you want to read and you never get around to doing it. Uh, Cancel your cable. I'm knocking out way more reading, which I've done before. But you know how it is. You come home, you turn on the weather, you check the news. For you know it, 2 hours is gone. You got other things to do. Hey Faye. Hey Dan. I highly recommend canning your cable. Oh, baby beagle, that's cute. Yeah, you can send it. Send it to my email, Tom Reed, TOMREED, 1956 at gmail.com. Hey Jay, how you doing? Give me a call later today when you get a chance, will you? Yeah, thank you, Faye. Hey Blue Malva, how you doing? Hey Mike, go on, hon. Go on, jump. Go on, go on. You can do it. Good girl. Wow. Good job, huh? Good job, hon. Good job, honey. Wow. Hey, Carmen. I know I say this all the time, but I am so lucky to get Daisy. It's the greatest dog, man. This dog is like no problem at all. I'm not kidding you. This dog does everything but drive the car. The place where I get my coffee in the morning, she says she's got a Shih Tzu. He only weighs like 9 pounds. She said he's super smart. She thinks Daisy's a Shih Tzu too, but Daisy weighs 29 pounds, so she is mixed with something. I'm just not sure what. Well, you know, these veterinarians, I don't know what they're like where you're at, but now you take them in, they want to have an assistant come out and grab them. They take them back in the room, do all this. I don't really like doing that. Last time I went in there, uh, I told them, why are you doing this? Well, we've got a system set up, this kind of thing. I said, well, first of all, she's aggressive, and secondly, I don't really like doing that. I'm turning into an official old man now. I even kind of mulled around maybe taking a cruise for between Christmas and New Year, just where I could read books. And I don't even know if any cruises are going on now. Probably not. But I don't want to leave my dog. And it's not like a normal dog I'm leaving behind, you know? Yeah, she's a good dog. Yeah, before I never used to mind. I mean, I had two miniature greyhounds before her, and I had a bunch of dogs before that. And I don't even want to leave her in the car, like where I can't see it and stuff anymore. You know, you read these crazies. There was a deal about 3 years ago in Detroit where some people had come to a dog show, and they had some high-end dogs. They stole the van with the dogs in it, and then just let the dogs out in Detroit. And they found the van someplace like 2 days later. These dogs are just running around Detroit. Luckily, they got them back. But that just shows you the craziness of people. Daisy would bite somebody if they came in here. I know she would. But, you know, she's also a small dog. So I don't want to take that chance anymore. Her getting out, you know, like somebody thinking they're going to steal something. Hey, 82. Hey, Shauna. That's like anything, whether it's a city manager, a police department, a veterinarian clinic. You know, they have this continuing education and You know, every year there's 2 or 3 get-togethers. I don't care what it is. It could be basket weaving to brain surgery. And all of a sudden some genius comes out with this new idea on how to do things, and everybody takes it hook, line, and sinker. That's how that stuff happens. You look at urban planning, and you look at cities now that are urban sprawl where, you know, housing is getting larger and larger outside the city. Everybody's got the traffic circles now, and I guarantee you they didn't think that up on their own. Oh my God, yeah. I had an older lady that lived alone that her daughter found Daisy for her on Craigslist. And I went and took her up. It was a blizzard, actually. That would have been 6 years ago this month. It was in December. And it was snowing like hell. A guy pulling a trailer full of snowmobiles completely did a 360, went off the side of the road, and one of the snowmobiles came out the back of the trailer. Picked it up from a family that was driving a Taurus with bald tires. Couple young kids. $25 Daisy was. And he said that they just had a newborn. They said Daisy was jealous, which I believe. And then she had it about a year, but I did everything with Daisy. It was an older woman. I'd take Daisy for walks. I'd give her baths, you know, because I knew the dog wasn't going to get much attention if I didn't do it. And I had fun with her. She's a great dog. She was smart as a whip as a young puppy. Then she had to go in an assisted living care facility, and I didn't really want a dog. I didn't. When she first said, "Will you take Daisy?" I said, "You know, I really don't want a dog." And then I got thinking about it, had a conscience attack, realized the circumstances behind Daisy, and took her. I'm glad that I did. That's a good girl. Even as a young puppy, she loves to sit in the window and just look out. That's why she likes sitting in the van, even if I'm not in it. I'll back in sometimes, depending on what the weather's like, if the sun's not coming through the window. And she'll sit for 12, 13, 14 hours just looking. She would be 7 years old now. 7 years old, yep. She's got a real long torso. It's a good girl, honey. It's a good baby, honey. It's crazy the things that this dog observes and remembers. Just like one time, you know, I know I could never get a dog this easy. It's basically, I talk to her. It's nuts. No, they don't. Red Roof Inn is pet free. Free pets. That's one of their big marketing slogans. You know what's happened to Red Roof Inn is that's an economy hotel, right? And they finally pretty much lost all the business travelers they were ever going to get. If you're a business guy and you need a good night's sleep, you don't want to stay in a Red Roof Inn. There are exceptions, but by and large, it's not like staying in a nice Wyndham or something like that. So with no businessmen coming in, and with this COVID, but even before then, you got to have some kind of shtick. Well, anything other than Red Roof Inn, they rip you off on a pet. They charge you extra, which is bullshit, claiming it's got to be a deep cleaning. And it ranges from 10 to 20 bucks a night, which is a real game changer. When I took that trip out west, I hadn't done that in a while. And I couldn't believe how much more expensive it is now to travel. If any of you guys, of course you're already out west, Blue Malibu, but any of that west traffic, like you get west of the Midwest, you're not just pulling over and getting a good deal on a hotel anymore. Those days are over. Even with COVID going on, you can expect to spend 80 to 100 bucks a night, I don't care what it is, easily. And you better make a reservation, because it bit me in the ass a couple times. Here I am after COVID, in September, after school was supposed to start, and I'm going to places where they're sold out. If you pull into a hotel, you'll notice now, you pull in at 4, it's like, wow, this place doesn't seem to be doing too good. Well, wait till you get up in the morning, the parking lot's full. That's pretty much how it goes now. Oh, okay. Yeah, if it was a Red Roof Inn, you need to turn them in, because there's no extra charge. Some of these hotel owner operators are total thieves. They will rip you off every way they can. Extra charges. Red Roof will do that if you're not for the safe charge. I said, do you think if I had anything I needed to put in a safe, I'd be staying at a Red Roof Inn? I mean, get real. Tons were traveling after September. I couldn't believe it. I purposely left after Labor Day. You know, I hadn't been out to Glacier National Park in a while, and I hadn't been to Deadwood. It was busy as hell. In national parks, I only went to two, Yellowstone and Glacier. And sometimes the entrance would be closed within an hour when they opened. Before the sun came up, there'd be a line of cars waiting to get in that place, and because it wasn't that way in Yellowstone, but it was in Glacier. They shut the east entrance down, so you got double the traffic, or somewhere near double the traffic. What people used to do is go in the west end, go out the east, or vice versa. Well, they were worried about, at least they said they were worried about the Native Americans getting exposed to COVID, so they shut the east end down. So for every reason possible, the park was packed, unmaintained, and it wasn't that fun because of that. I've been to Glacier National Park off season. It's a very short season, maybe like September to or maybe like June till September. I mean, they get creamed with snow out there, and I've been there plenty of times. Now, you don't have that great access because you're unable to going to the Sun Road, but you can go up and down Lake McDonald. I've been there a lot of times off season and been the only guy there. Those days seem to be over. There's a daisy girl. That's the queen bee. That's the queen bee right there. Yeah. That's Dad's queen bee. Hey, Kim. $80 a week? Yeah, it's bullshit. Yeah, sorry about that. Hey, Dolly. Gas is cheap. Pretty cheap. You know, considering what it could have been. You know, when we went through that gas crisis, what was that, like 6-7 years ago? You know, I was still going down to Detroit. Might have been longer than that, 8 years ago. But I can remember paying $3.70 a gallon for a while. You believe that shit? I still did it, though. Gas, $2 a gallon is really very reasonable if you look at other countries. You know, I read a lot about science. I've been really getting into microscopes lately, and I'll tell you one thing I'm learning. I knew this already, but not to the extent that I know it now. And that is the finite supply of a lot of minerals. I mean, everybody knows about gas and coal, natural gas. But I'm telling you, on a lot of this stuff, it's 100 to 150 years, that's all. Once that's gone, it's gone. I know guys that are in the energy industry, and if you look at like battery power, solar, it's a great idea, but it's not cost effective, and you can't run a vibrator off it. Even with batteries in cars, it's a pain in the ass. You know, when you get that crazy cold weather, you don't read about this too much, but the Teslas, you can take your pick. You're either going to drive to work and not use the heater, or you're going to use the heater and you're not going to make it to work. Once you start heating and using it for travel as well, the range is nothing. You could never take a vacation on one of those damn cars. I mean, maybe you could in like a short area, California or something like that, but the point is alternative methods of fuel are nothing at all like gasoline. So there's going to be a time, and not that far in the future, if you think about it, it really didn't last this long. Hey, Sean. Daisy said, I'll just walk. I don't care. I'll walk, Dad. Yeah, I mean, I know a guy that was in engineering at the University of Michigan. I think he graduated like in 80. I mean, these batteries have gotten better, but they're nothing like, if you're rich and you're living in San Mateo, California, and you got a new Tesla and you can run up and get a 6-pack of beer. Hey, look, this is my battery charged car. Isn't it cool? And they're super fast, but not for long. So there's going to be a real dilemma one of these days. I give him credit for trying for an alternative fuel source, but if you really do your research, you're going to find out that wind and solar is basically cost prohibitive, and the amount of minerals and heat exchange that occurs in manufacturing these parts is crazy. Go down around Metropolitan Airport and all the people that are driving these battery cars, all the terminals down there, every single one of them are being charged with fossil fuel. So you got a Tesla, you're saying you're helping the environment, but all the power you're getting from plugging it in is from a fossil fuel burning plant. My opinion, nuclear is the way to go. Yeah, there's a downside to it, but it's very small. I don't see anything else being possible down the road like 200 years from now. Yeah. Just check out, go to Harbor Freight or go on eBay and look at solar panels. Obviously, some places are better than others to have one, but you couldn't power an electric toothbrush. Hey, Mark. They are ignorant about it, yeah. That's possible, yeah, hydrogen. That is possible. Yeah, they really are. I know people have told me it's like our house is fully 100% green. Then I go visit the place. And if you live anywhere, you can tell that they've discouraged burning anything anymore outside. Another 50 years, you won't be able to burn anything outside anywhere. Whether it's a campfire, a pile of garbage, cooking marshmallows. Elon Musk's an interesting guy. I hope somebody knows the answer to this question. But here's what I've not been able to figure out. Being broke is like getting evicted, getting judgments against you, not having enough money to eat, that kind of thing. How does Elon, it's a great story. I only had $1,000 in my checking account. Now he's the second richest guy in the world. Something's not adding up here. How do you go from being broke to getting a credit line, to owning your own car manufacturing company in no time? Nobody has the answer for this. I've kind of breezed through a few of the books to see if I could get an answer. That's because I think it's bullshit. He either had some family money, or like that crook that is on one of those TV shows that helps you with your business. The guy who owns Campers World. Lee Iacocca lent him some money to get going. Yeah, broke is broke. Something not adding up here. I know he started PayPal, but before that he was broke, and he claims to have been broke one time since then. And another mystery to this is, stock, it isn't necessarily valued. It's valued on the expectation of the success of the company, not necessarily what it's worth. If you took Tesla, if you went to General Motors or Ford, and you tried to have their stock valued the same way they do Tesla, it would never work, because it's all accounting. Every single car they make, they lose money on. This battery-powered stuff is really not going to be done, at least in our lifetime. But yet their stock keeps going up, although they're losing money. It's not adding up. Well, you talk about going south, eBay. When I was on that trip, I came back and I ordered a trickle charger for my battery. I got that Toyota van. When I got back, I'm doing boxes and leaving feedback, and all of a sudden I come to this thing and eBay says, this seller is no longer on eBay. And I thought, oh shit, here we go. And I knew it was like $63 what I paid. And I wasn't sure it was from because they took all the identifying information off and just let you know that you spent $63. And it showed a tracking number that had been initiated, but it didn't look like it was ever sent. So I thought, well, here I go with this now, right? So I tried to call eBay, and I was a big eBay guy for a while. You can't even talk to anybody at customer service now. Now you got to send them email. Nobody to talk to. But I was with eBay from the beginning, and now it sucks. Hey Randy, how you doing? No, Laura, there's an argument for that. Yeah, you're right, networking. It's true. Although, if you listen to the conversation I had with a kid in Toledo a few weeks back that was going to Yale, he knows seniors that have been unable to get jobs. Yeah, he did. Yep. Well, no doubt he's a smart guy. Yeah, when I order stuff off eBay, I still get things from him, like once in a while. And luckily, I got that trickle charger. I mean, according to eBay's records, a tracking number was issued, and that was it. But I did get it, thank God, so I didn't need to spend the next 5 hours on the phone trying to, work this out. Hey, Graphic, how you doing? Yeah, I can look out. Yeah, there's a guy I know in Georgia that's always finding out about good cars. I was looking for an Astro van last night. Yeah, I'll find you one. You live in a good area down there, anywhere around Atlanta. Rust is the big killer on most cars. Astro vans are going up in value, if you can believe it. There's actually a group of people that petitioned General Motors to start making the Astro van again. It's a great vehicle. That's why I hate to get rid of this one. Actually, I emailed a guy last night that claims to do front ends and shocks. And I asked, hey, what would you redo my whole front end for? And all new shocks. I really hate to get rid of this. Yeah, well, you know how it is. I mean, when you're looking for vehicles, you gotta get one when you see it, because when you really need one, in other words, when your vehicle quits, that's when you get screwed. Being without a car, it's just doesn't work. You'll end up paying too much, not doing good enough due diligence, something. Yeah, I'll look for one for you. Yep. I think that's a good question, Blue Ma'am. I was thinking that when I said that. I don't know if I'd buy a new one or not. I mean, I'm not really into it. I probably wouldn't. I've got just under 400,000 miles on this. It depends how much they wanted for them. I bought two of these at the same time, brand new. One was 17 and one was 15,000 in 2003. Gas had spiked up and they couldn't give them away. And I doubt that's going to happen again. I mean, if you'd have told me back in 2003 that an Astro van would still be running, I wouldn't have believed it. I mean, I'm sure they couldn't get away with the same configuration they have now. Maybe they could. I don't even know if they use that engine in anything else now. They were putting it in pickups. Yeah, that's a question. Would the new ones be as good as the old ones? Probably not. It's on a truck frame. That helps. I mean, this thing's a tank in the snow. I don't care how much it snows, how deep it is, anything. When I've got snow tires on, it's no problem at all. And it pulls a lot of weight as well. It's like the perfect vehicle. I see that there's some guys that have done customized Astro vans, made them like camper vans. I don't really see how you can do that. They're a little small, I think, to try and make it a vehicle like that. And people have done it, but I think I could barely sleep on a bed from the back seat to the back door. It's not really big enough, I don't think. Oh, are they putting the 4.3 in the Silverado? That's interesting. Yeah, these. You talk to anybody that's had this engine, they go forever. I mean, if every vehicle, every car company built every engine like the 4.3, they'd all be out of business now because they last so long. I don't burn any oil either, if you can believe that. Hey, Brian. Yeah, Penny was murdered. Not too long after that. She was hit in the head, was in a coma for about a month, and then later died in an assisted living care facility. Yeah, I just can't get into these new vehicles. There is no way in hell I'm paying 40 or 50 grand for a vehicle. Absolutely not. No way. If you gave me a brand new vehicle, I'd sell it. It's just not worth it to me. Plus, they kill you on insurance. If you look like take for an example, the new Silverado. If you look at that lighting assembly, either the front or the back, the headlights or the taillights, it's just like, $2,300 for the whole assembly. Is bullshit. They've gotten these cars, none of them are sealed transmissions now. You can't even change the transmission fluid. And you can't tell me that I've got my original original radiator, original power steering pump. You can't tell me that they've come up with some kind of synthetic transmission fluid that would get you 394,000 miles. I don't believe it. Yeah. Nah, if you gave me I look at these people in these new houses. The world's just gone nuts. And these financing deals they give you to get in these houses that you just never pay off unless you're rich. Like, see that red truck over there right now? God knows what they want for that thing. Plastic rims, plastic fender and bumper. I guess I'm at the age where I just saw back in the 70s and 80s. I mean, I had new cars when I went to college. Nothing great, Toyota Corollas, that kind of thing. I wouldn't even buy a new Toyota Corolla now, no way. I'm not paying that just for a car. Little old cramped things. Gas mileage isn't everything. Yeah. I mean, if anybody is like, kind of looking for a van or something, I'm telling you, I've run into plenty of people with 3, 4, 500,000 miles on Astro vans. Now, the whole trick is if it's been maintained. I think if you were a savvy shopper and you wanted a nice vehicle, get the all-wheel drive. People say, oh, the gas mileage is worse. Not much. Less than a mile per gallon. It's worth it. I haven't had any transmission problems. But my point is, if you wanted a nice van, particularly if you live in a southern or western climate where the salt didn't eat it alive, get an Astro van, because miles mean nothing. Now, pickups, the mileage doesn't seem to matter. With vans and cars, it does. But if you found a van or an Astro van with like 150,000 miles on it, that's nothing. And they're not going to be able to get that much for it because of the mileage, but you could easily put another 200,000-300,000 miles on it. You can't beat it. Gas mileage isn't the greatest, 20 on the highway, about 10 in the city. But I'm not, driving around the city that much, but they are great vehicles. Yeah, Craig, yep, that kind of stuff. That's exactly it. Yep. The only real bitch it would be on one of these Astro vans is changing a heater core. If you look how they've set that engine in there, my God, I can't imagine messing around with that. Yeah, everything included. When I was a kid, we did that. Yeah, we were taught to dump the fluid down the sewer. Isn't that nuts? You get a death penalty for that now. And I see these people, Michigan, I really noticed in this last trip how bad our roads are. And I just don't understand these people with these new Camaros, Chargers, and Corvettes. It would like be a piece of junk in no time. That low profile. If you gave me a new Corvette, the only place I would keep it is if I lived down south or out west. The roads are fantastic. Places like Kentucky, Indiana, roads are just perfect. But up here, it'd be a piece of junk in no time. Hey, Pam. Yeah, I was looking at electron microscopes lately, and when I was looking on eBay, they'll pop up other things. You search for this, you may like this, and they've got these little like stuffed animals of the coronavirus. They're cute. It's pretty cool looking. Yeah, I mean, I think from an engineering standpoint, the Corvette is. I don't think you get a bigger bang for your buck for a sports car. You look at the whole package. But the days of me like, getting a magnifying glass out when I take you for a ride in it to see if you left a few grains of sand on the mat or over. Oh, Ypsilanti? Yeah, I've spent a ton of time in Ypsilanti. I went to school there. I was going up there even before I went to college. I lived there for a few years after I graduated. What years were you in Ypsilanti? Or when did you leave? Hey, Karen. Good girl, huh? You're good, baby. You're good. Good girl. Yeah, everything cool. That's a good point. Hey, Corroded, how you doing? Criminal justice. I got a degree in criminal justice. It's a joke. I'm not kidding you, man. My college, I was like the worst student ever my whole life. From the beginning to the end. Not kidding you. I barely got into anywhere. Oh, okay. That's cool, Craig. Yeah, I wasn't much of a student. I mean, I think I'd be better now, but maybe I wouldn't be. No, I'm not worried about catching corona, no. None of them have it, for starters. And none of them know anybody that has it. That's been my experience. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in Ypsi. I didn't move up there till 77. I went to a junior college and I graduated in 80. Yeah, COVID plush animals. They're cute as hell. They're like $15. You can get them on eBay. They're really cool looking too. I almost ordered one. I got a buddy of mine's got COVID now. It happens to be a doctor, but I was afraid he might not think it's so funny. They're cute, so I didn't order it. Yeah, I thought criminal justice, it was an easy thing. I bet I didn't. My whole college, I went to a junior college for a couple years, and then I went to a 4-year school. I bet I didn't study 100 hours total. I'm not kidding you. I thought it was boring. I wasn't learning anything, and I had other things to do. Arts philosophy, not really. Oh, okay. Yeah, I saw they have some hip hop degrees. Well, these colleges are desperate now to stay in business. Once these administrators, the people my age, kick off, I think you're going to see a lot of these bullshit degrees go away. I mean, if you're one of these people that bribe the officials to get your kids into college, that may be possible, but nah, I think you're going to see a big changing of college. You know, they've just recently, in the old days, subsidizations kept tuition low. Well, it's not like that anymore. They're depending on running the whole thing through their tuition, which is why it's way more than it used to be. Oh, thank you, wafer. Hey, L.A. Oh, Sterco, yeah. Yeah, I mean, in the old days, if you wanted to get, I'm not saying you don't learn anything with an arts degree of some kind, but getting out, working at Starbucks, paying student loans for 20 years and living like a pauper, no thanks. They are cute, aren't they, Kim? Yeah, you're probably right on that, Chuck. I mean, you know, I'd like to think I'd be a better student. Quiet, Daisy. I'd like to think I'd be a better student uh, today. And I may be only because what may have motivated me is that I didn't want to be stuck with 25 years of payments. So I may have got better grades, but I wouldn't guarantee it. Hey, Giggle Juice. Yeah, I believe that. Yep. Yeah. In a way, you've kind of seen salaries and wages get in line with what they maybe should have been. I mean, in the 70s and 80s, you could make way more as a factory worker with a GED than you could as a college professor. Well, it's not like that any longer now. I mean, what do college professors, what should they be paid? That's a big question. I mean, this is going to sound terrible, but I'm really kind of enjoying watching the University of Michigan squirm. You know, 50% of their enrollment is from foreigners, and it's a publicly supported institution. Great college. It's a legit, internationally recognized school. I know. Maybe part of my disdain is not being able to get in there. But now that all this gravy money is heading out the window because these football games can't be played, you're seeing old University of Michigan have to buckle down like every Joe Blow college does and has for years. So they really got a hot potato with these crazy athletic scholarships and these coaches' salaries. You know, funding them's a problem. I don't. Without knowing people, you know, I get people that solicit me for money. If we don't know you some way, or have some kind of confirmation, I don't really encourage donating to anybody because there's so many scams going on. That doesn't mean that you're running one. It's just due diligence isn't possible. So when I see people posting links that I don't know, I delete them. Yeah, if you don't know what to believe, you're probably really stupid, ABC. Have you had your IQ check lately? You might want to do that and it'll all make sense to you. My guess is you'd be around 75, 80. Maybe high functioning Down syndrome. That's why you don't know what to believe, because you're a moron. What, hon? Do you want to get out? Daisy's bothering me to get out. I mean, I'm not saying these people don't need some help. And I wouldn't even mind people posting links, but you just don't know friend or foe. So I don't want anybody getting tricked on my channel if I can help it. Yeah, I mean, you've got to have some serious mental problems if you think that I'm involved in women ending up missing or murdered. That is just the stupidest, dumbest attempt to make trouble possible. I mean, I just renewed my private detective license, which I've had for 40 years almost. I carry my phone. It's GPS enabled all the time. I go back to every place that I've been to do more interviews. This is how desperate these morons are to discredit me. Yeah, I mean, you got to have something really seriously wrong with you to think this is about. But there's nothing else left to do. If you don't claim that I'm sleeping with working women or murdering them, there's nothing left. What else are you going to say? But it shows you the low IQ of some of these troublemaking morons. Oh, that's cool, Dolly. That's nice of you. Well, Chuck, you know, part of the foreign student thing is they pay double tuition. I don't know if it's quite double, but now that these colleges are desperate for money, you know, if you can get 50% of the student body to be paying double than the other 50%, come here, Daisy. You know, that's what it takes to make the wheels go around. You're going to see more and more stuff with these colleges. Come on. Come on, go bye-bye. The college business model is broken for the average Joe. Another thing I got a little bit of problem with too is, you know, you look at everybody getting their benefits cut and slashed and retirement and all this kind of stuff. But you don't see that happen with these utility companies or these governmental programs. They're still buying new vehicles, and they're still got the same benefits they had before the economy went south. Yeah, I don't, you know, the people, come here, hey, get over here. The people that have, come on. I mean, if you look at the channels that make these comments, they basically are a culmination of people that were kicked off mine and others. Those channels don't go anywhere. People turn in and give them the views they get for the car wreck mentality. They can't believe anybody's this stupid, and I've blocked them. So they go and because there's nothing else to say about me. Yeah, if anybody thinks I'm murdering girls, well, you might want to let them know at the private detective board, because they don't think I am. They just renewed my license for another 3 years. Everybody knows where I live. It's just, that's the low IQ that you deal with on some of these crazy channels. YouTube is slowly upping the ante. I wish that you could block people by MAC address rather than screen name or IP. It's much more effective because they'll run out of devices pretty soon. But, you know, we don't get the stalkers and the crazies that we used to because the blocking is more effective than it used to be. You can make another screen name, but I'll block that one too. So things have gotten much better. If you look at our chats in the evening, and like lately through the daytime, they've been much better because these people can't do anything but give it a thumbs down. And if they checked into that, they realized that however YouTube calculates credit you get, a thumbs down is just as good as a thumbs up. It's considered positive activity. This is how dumb these people are. But they can't make a comment because I blocked them. You might be right, Plague, yeah. I'm in Michigan. No, she didn't. Here's Northern Light. This is probably that idiot out in Las Vegas that's had her kids taken away from her, that does porn for 99 cents a minute. Well, she used to do porn. Nobody wants to watch it anymore. I mean, these are 50-year-old people living with their mother, still talking about getting high. You got people down in Detroit that will never go anywhere in life because they still talk like they're in the 7th grade. Like I tell people, if that's what entertains you, I mean, there's a freak factor, their channels are going nowhere. They never will. They'll get like 1,000 subscribers, 12, 13, 15. And the only reason they got those is because they used somebody else's name. And I think all of them are noticing now, without using someone else's name, no one gives two shits about what they have to say. They're poorly spoken, they can't spell, their grammar sucks, they're crappy parents, they still boast about drug use, and they're overall just bad people to associate with in any form. Yeah, really, I'm not really into like this big giant channel, and I've never really people know what they want to watch or involve themselves in. If they do, great. I mean, it's better to be liked than not liked, but I'm not going to jump through any hoops or like change myself. That's why I never accept a sponsor, or I don't want to do any of that stuff, because this way I can block and tell everybody to go to hell whenever I feel like it. I'd like to think so far it's been for good reason. And once you start like selling t-shirts with your name on it and bumper stickers and thinking it's just some sovereign right for someone to be able to belong to one of these chats, that's when it's no good anymore. It's no big deal belonging to my channel. I don't mean to sound like a jerk, but when people get disruptive and crude and rude and talk negative about the women, it's time for them to go. And it's not just working girls, it's anybody. It's just, I can't stand ignorant people that are rude with low IQs. I'm sorry. I hope to never get over it. Yeah, that trophy thing, I guess, came in 100,000. I didn't even... Somebody said I was going to get it and give it to somebody. Somebody wanted it. And when I looked on there, it was just too much bullshit. If you think I'm deserving of... I don't think you should be getting awards for getting lucky. And that's exactly what I've done. Don't think I don't know that. It's not any fantastic comment or super editing or big bulge in my pants. It's just shit luck. It's the virtual internet musical chairs. When the music stopped, I sat down and YouTube canned me into their algorithm program, and off it went. I mean, I've been getting like 4,000 new subscribers a month, and I don't know why. As you know, I've never said share, like, subscribe, blah, blah, blah. Now that I think you get 100,000 subscribers, you get a plaque or something, but I looked at it and I thought, this is way too much bullshit. I don't want it anyway. No, I didn't go there to Vincent's, no. I didn't go in there. I took my cable box back because I quit my cable. Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Moonshine. Yeah, you got to apply for them. No, I don't want it to begin with. Oh, thank you, Shanna. If I knew who you, if I could confirm who you are, I'm not saying that posting links to help you out aren't a possibility. It's just, you can appreciate, I get solicited for this all the time, and I don't want to be the conduit for a scam. That doesn't mean that you're running a scam, it's just I don't know you. You'll learn a lot, hey, Antonio. Yeah, today, I'm trying to, I almost went up to the UP. A lot of freighters coming through the locks today, but I gotta get more done, man. I still got a lot of stuff to do. I mean, I am gonna have the holidays to do it, but it's the old adage, if you need something done, give it to a busy person. And because I just kind of drift around all the time, I don't get much done because there's no deadline. Yeah, PewDiePie, isn't that something? Wow. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not really into like awards and stuff like that, and I don't care. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of places I could go, but I mean, I'm trying to get my house in order. There's no way I want to start into spring with not having everything just right. I don't even know what it is. I guess it's a plaque or something. I'm not really sure. It's I don't know what you get. I'll tell you what I'd like. Even if they charged for it, I wish you could talk to somebody at YouTube. I'd pay $100 a month just to be able to dial up and talk to them, because if you've got like if somebody, let me give you an example. Like, they have a copyright button where you go and you can see if people copying your content. Now, if I see somebody copying my content and they're trying to take me down or say I'm a murderer, well, I turn that in and they get the strike and they delete it and tell them don't do it again. Like, I've got two of them the other day. One is some older lady out west that took part of one of my videos that I did of the moon rising or something. I mean, who cares? Another one was some kid that took some of my videos, the Osaba River. You know, I'm not gonna, like, I don't care. I mean, but if they're trying to, like, damage me or cause me problems, that's a different story. But for people just using part of the videos for whatever, they don't really know. I mean, fair use is vague. So if somebody wants to use a sunrise or a sunset or a parrot squawking in a tree, have at it. Yeah, you can get demonetized. Yeah, they do that, man. I've watched a lot of people have that happen to over the years. They were kind of late to the game on that. Yeah. I didn't even have any of my stuff monetized up until about 3 years ago. 2.5, 3 years ago. I just never did it. I mean, I'll tell you something I find a little odd, oh, look at this idiot. Look at this moron. Oh, yeah, yep. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Sorry for any technical difficulty. The only woman I ever made money off of was your mother. And I ended up laying her off. Bye-bye. Have a good day. Have a great day. Have a great day. Oh, but what I was going to say is, I noticed, like, whenever you use a copyrighted song, like on my driving videos, no one wants to generally hear that boring canned subscription music that sounds like someone banging on top of an empty coffee can. So I try and get a song that people recognize or like. And if you're my age, you're going to like songs that were hits in the 70s and 80s. So I'll use them, and I'll make sure they're not monetized, whether it's a Rolling Stones, a guy riding out on a motorcycle, Buffalo Springfield, a guy driving down a pickup in Lexington, Kentucky. I don't give a shit. I'm not, there's chump change in it anyway, right? But I, just for the hell of it, the other night I went on some of my videos. Now, mind you, you got to click the button that you're not trying to monetize these, which of course I do because I know I can't. Not only do I want to get a strike, but I wouldn't do it anyway, because it goes from being a personal interest to a commercial venture when you try and make money using someone's copyrighted songs. So I make sure that I don't do that. But I noticed when I was looking through a couple of my own videos that there were commercials on those videos that I didn't monetize. Weird. Why are there commercials on a video that can't? The only revenue that couldn't be garnered, which is chump change anyway, would presumably be me. But is somebody getting paid out there on a copyrighted song on one of my videos? Because there'd be no other reason to run a commercial. I can't get a straight answer on this. I Googled it, I looked. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but I thought it was really strange if our commercials playing on a demonetized video. Yeah, happily single. Oh, they put ads on all videos. They do. But how can I not be allowed to put an ad on a video, which I'm fine with, and somebody else can? I mean, does that mean that every ad you see, revenue's being generated one way or the other? It doesn't add up. If I can't, Who could? Oh, okay, Brian. Oh, they were putting. Okay, well that answers it then. Thank you. So does that mean YouTube's getting paid on all ads? Does that mean they get paid, or is it just a wash on a copyrighted song? Oh, okay. I agree. That's why I belong to that epidemic sound, because it's worth $15 a month. There'll be months sometimes where I don't download a new song. I don't know. I don't know why. I got plenty of them already. But it's worth every dime, $15 a month, not to worry about this copyright stuff. It's a pain in the ass. It's not the greatest music in the world, but there's some kind of, like, if you go into a bar and a band is playing your favorite top 40 music, there's some kind of fee that's generated that somebody pays for them to be able to do that. But if I could pay a dollar amount for that kind of thing, look, I think if I use a copyrighted song, I think it would help them, not hurt them. And even though they're demonetized, sometimes you'll find all the information you want: the song, who wrote it, who sang it, all that stuff. I think it helps them. Now, I don't know what they're worried about, but anyway, I would be glad to pay for that licensing fee to use copyrighted music in my videos. No problem. I'm not trying to get something for nothing. And on every copyrighted song that I use on one of my videos, even though it's demonetized, I pay for them. Not a big deal, $1.29, 99 cents, something like that, but I buy all those songs. And I get it, man. I'm all for licensing, copywriting, all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to get something for free. I happily pay for it. Which is also why, and I hope you guys do it too, but it's your business, which is also why I donate to Wikipedia every year. Because it's a huge, giant resource. If you've ever owned your own business, you realize that this stuff doesn't get funded by cash falling out of the sky. It's the same reason I buy books at Barnes & Noble. I want them to be around. In Wikipedia, I give them, 10 times more than they recommend I donate. Not a lot, 100, $200, something like that. I'm all for, like, compensating people for stuff. Hey, Moonshines. Yeah, it's no problem. Amazon is taking over. There will be something opposite of a silver lining in Amazon. I'm not sure what it is. Amazon, in my opinion, was great 10 years ago, 15 years ago. You go on there and you'd really get the straight scoop. I've been solicited 3 times to write reviews for Amazon. I got to keep the item, and it was $5 for the review. And then everybody started realizing, these reviews are a bunch of horse shit. So, some master's degree from the University of Chicago came up and said, well, we need to come up with some way of verifying purchases. So they came up with the verifying purchases thing. And now I've seen lately now, I'm afraid to buy anything off Amazon. I think those ratings are total horseshit. But in fairness to Amazon, now I was looking at getting a new video camera. And back in the day, you'd watch a commercial, you'd read the reviews, and you'd make an informed decision on if this is the camera that I want. Now I've realized that when you go and really research something, whether it's a microscope, a camera, a video recorder, anything, it's amazing to me how even the overall best selections have such 3 or 5% shitty reviews. Even the best equipment out there, 3% of their reviews says it's the biggest piece of shit they've ever bought in their life, and here's why. So you're realizing in this day and age that, you want to try and line up the cards as good as you can, but that even the best equipment has things that happen that you wouldn't know about 20 years ago. There could be 10,000 people that got screwed and nobody knew about it. Well, because of YouTube, now everybody knows about it. When I have a cop break a ticket off of my ass because he doesn't like my YouTube channel and he thinks Daisy's fat and she shouldn't be on my lap, 20 years ago, I had to bend over. Nobody knew about it. He wrote tickets like that every day of the week until the day he retired. Well, now I can upload a video about that, which I did do, and show that this is a bullshit ticket. And then I can subsequently show the smear campaign the Michigan State Police Department did while communicating with felons, people that have had their children taken away, and stalkers to try and discredit me on challenging them for this horseshit ticket I was written. So the days of law enforcement or landlords or employers or neighbors just fucking people over until they dropped are over. YouTube has provided a huge service for people to figure out what's really going on, not what your TV and newspaper said, not what your news channel told you. You've got an avenue now to put this out there and let these people know this is bullshit and you need to know about it. Oh yeah, they looked through my YouTube. They admitted to it. Go scroll back on the Michigan State Police in the search box of my videos and you'll see I spell it all out. It shows you how low these people can go when you challenge them. I think what really ticked them off is they found out that I told people on YouTube that the guy that wrote me the ticket has a criminal record in Ohio. I think that's what really got them pissed. Hey, not my fault. It's a public record. Hey, Stephanie. Yeah, and I 99.9% of my interactions with law enforcement have been great my whole life. And I would say rarely do I have a problem, but I can tell you this, I'm just not the kind of personality. If you pull me over, like the cop that pulled me over at Glacier National Park, I didn't like it, but I understood it. And I wasn't supposed to be doing that, and I didn't know about it. Give me the ticket, man. We both go on. Have a good day. I got a ticket by a Colorado state trooper one time that I didn't think I should have got. 6 months later, after I lost in a trial, we went hiking for 4 days. So it's not some anti-cop thing at all. But if you are going to write me a bullshit ticket, I'm not going to lay down like Pee Wee Herman and act like everything's okay when it's not. I give them an earful or challenge it later on, which I've done a couple of times, and I've uploaded videos of it all. It's just my personality. That's the way it is. These are bullshit tickets. I never should have got them to begin with. I couldn't find any other cops that wrote tickets like that. Later on, I either beat them or I settled them. So, you know, I can take a well-deserved ticket, no problem. I wish I didn't get it, but that's different. Just because you get pulled over doesn't always mean that you should be getting a citation. And these police departments really seem to have a huge problem with that. I've had 2 cops in the last year around here and one in a neighboring county. They recognize the van and they recognize Daisy. And they say, are you the guy that films police officers? And I said, well, what are you talking about? And he said, well, you know, you just film cops, like if they're pulling people over, if they pulled you over. I said, yeah, that's me. And they said, well, why do you do that? I said, look, man, I don't want to argue with you, but there are police shows on all the time about cops pulling people over. People own scanners. And sometimes people get pulled over when they shouldn't. That's all I'm documenting. And what's your problem with that? Well, there's no rebuttal for that. And they always come back with, well, I just thought it was, I don't know why. They can't answer their own theory. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm sneaking up on people. All this stuff is public information. Even when I upload my own videos, anybody can get a copy of that. I mean, go on YouTube and look at the police dash cams. There are millions of them. This is not a big deal. I mean, I get a little miffed when I find sometimes that law enforcement wants to treat a public highway like it's in their own backyard. And just because they don't like something you're doing kind of causes problems for you sometime when it shouldn't. Documenting, yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy. I mean, and like I said, I'm not an anti-cop hater. I think that this defunding police departments in some of these cities, you got to be out of your mind. You couldn't give me $1 million a year to live in Eugene, Oregon. Bunch of crazies out there, Chicago, Illinois. You got lunatics running this place. All right, LA, take it easy. Go get yourself a pack of no-dos. Well, I did check into the podcast. It's just too legit for me. You need a bunch of like legit equipment, and God, man, I just don't think I could. It doesn't interest me. I like run and gun, like today. If I was in a bad mood or I didn't get enough sleep, I probably wouldn't have done a chat. But I would like to do an internet radio station only so you could hear both sides of the conversation, like you did with Lacey, and interact. In other words, you could ask questions while I was interviewing someone. That way I could just open up like the whole other world of like interviewing people. I would love to do something like that. And I've checked into it a little bit, not a lot. That's why I'm like, one reason I'm staying home today is so I can work on things around my house, because I'm setting my whole master bedroom up into one big giant nice office. Yeah, that's what I want to do. But I'd like to do like that, where I could do like an internet radio station and do interviews. That does interest me. But the podcast thing, God. It'd be so fun, yeah. You know, LA could call in, and J-Bo could call in. You know? Yeah. Maybe a little cleaning. Yeah, anybody knows, now, it's always interesting to me. I tell people you need to be thick-skinned to be on YouTube. But is there anybody out there that knows of like what would be a good like internet radio station type thing where I could do interviews and I could have listener interaction? No one wants to hear my dumbass just playing songs and talking. I mean, I could have everybody call in, even my enemies. I would love to have that idiot in Detroit, Nitty, come on and discuss anything with him, because you would learn in about 60 seconds how stupid this guy is. I'd even welcome Debbie to call in just so we could all laugh our ass off with her hillbilly logic. Even Ollie, she could put the bottle down and quit smoking for 10 seconds. I'd let you listen to that kook and just ask her why she's done some of the things she's done. It'd be better than any comedy show you'd ever been to anywhere. I've tried that. It's not the same, Tanya. Yeah, Ogama County. Speakerphone, yeah, it doesn't work out. You know, the speakerphone thing is, it's nothing like a nice, clear signal that, you know, I could talk and you could hear them like a legit broadcast. And I could, the only thing I wouldn't want to, see, this is what I worry about. I don't want to have to sell myself out for some bullshit. I don't want to have to like air a commercial. I want to keep it where I can fund the whole thing and just pay for it myself. That way I don't have to kiss any asses and I can get rid of anybody I want. Once you whore yourself out and you start getting sponsors, it all goes south. I've taken hobbies before and turned them into money-making ventures, and it killed the hobby. It took the fun out of it. I want to keep like we're all here for free. Nobody's paying me. Nobody's paying you. We're here because we want to be. And you can hang up when you want to. You know what I'm saying? I want to make it like fun and like kind of get to the bottom line on things if possible. You know? Yeah, I mean, here's a guy talking about titties. What is he, 40, 50 years old? This clown thinks he's a celebrity. Yeah, no, he's just, this guy is very limited. I think he reached the Peter Principle in about the 6th grade. Oh, Zoom. Yeah, I'll have to check that out, Zoom. No, I wouldn't say it. Actually, when Howard Stern is not being crude and obnoxious, he's an excellent interviewer. I would listen to Howard Stern all day long if he acted like an adult. It's when he starts talking about retards and stuff like that that it just like that's nitty lingo. I mean, that's the Frank Nitty logic. I just no thanks, man. I'm an adult. I thought you were one, but the shock value stuff I'm not interested in. Yeah, there's something really wrong with him. No, just a big idiot. Yeah, quit acting childish. Yeah. No, I would like it. So if you guys got some good recommendations on that, I'll sign up on that, man. I'll drop my. I've been looking into electron microscope. That shows you how mentally ill I am. I think I'm about ready to go back into a psychiatric hospital because I'm thinking about buying an electron microscope, which is just nuts. I mean, hospitals are trying to figure out how they're going to buy one. Here, I'm buying one so I can make cool YouTube videos on stuff that interests me. It's crazy. I found this really cool system last night. They've got this incubation system up where you can take like microbes, a virus, bacteria, and you can incubate it and have live 4K video all the time. It would be so cool. And then I looked at, like when you get in DIC microscopes, it's super interesting. But I don't know that, I don't know. I've always wanted to do this, not just something cropped up. Yeah, I try Zoom. Could you guys put it up and call me or something? Or I'll call you. I don't know anything about it. Anybody... I'm not dodging anybody on interviews or talking to them. No problem, man. Anybody ever wants to call me, interview me, no problem, man. And I'm very interested in promoting other channels that are trying to get off the ground, and no problem. Oh, Zoom meetings, Dan. So what is Zoom exactly? What is that? I think that's how I settled my last ticket, was through Zoom. Nah, I tried a channel. If you look, I do have another channel, the Depression channel. But I found, it's the litmus test of everything, right? You don't know what anything's like, including getting married or living with someone, until you actually do it. So I did try like a depression channel, but I found early on that, part of getting on the internet but on your own volition and having fun and interacting is fun things. And I found that just talking about depression only was not so fun. And that people were less inclined to go on there because they wanted to talk about fun stuff. They didn't want to talk about chronic depression for the last 30 years. It worked a little, but I could see that it didn't take long for the conversation to morph into something else besides depression. And I just thought, nah, this wasn't such a good idea. Oh, you can. Yeah, thank you, Plague. You're right. Yeah. Well, here's what if I had my dream, scenario, and this is the credibility that I would give podcasts. Uh-oh, here we go. Who's state troopers? What'd I do now? That damn state police probably saw me talking on the video. See, I shouldn't even bat an eye at this. There's two state cops showing up at the cable place. Somebody must have bitched about their fee. Two state cops. Well, at least they're not hassling me. A guy sitting out in front of the cable thing. Two state cops show up for a guy. You know, I shouldn't think a thing about two state cops pulling in. But after getting that bullshit ticket and witnessing what the state police did on an internal investigation, I mean, they were talking to Ollie about me. Can you believe that? It doesn't get any lower than that. Yeah, but you don't need to. That doing nothing wrong doesn't always work. It does, actually. That crazy cop that wrote me that bullshit ticket for Daisy, I ended up going down a different way so I could avoid I-94 where he was all the time. That's not right. Come on, Daisy, come on. I really haven't had that many interactions with him, though, really. That was, I had one cop, I was picking up a handicap lady during the rain in front of a Whole Foods. He gave me some bullshit ticket. He later got canned. And then this other jackass that wrote this bullshit ticket with Daisy on my lap. This guy they probably wanted to jack up his cable fee. Yeah, steel scrap, yeah. Yeah, you can't E82, yeah. Yeah, I do too. He's going to go in there and he's going to find out what the clerk says. Oh, this is his wife, maybe. He just handed the cop looked like a cell phone. This guy is sick and tired of his cable bill going up. Have a good day, Steel Scrap. Sorry for any technical difficulties. Please try again later. I haven't heard from Becky in maybe 6 weeks. I don't know. Yeah, but this guy was, he's just sitting out there. I don't know. Looks like he's agitated. Steel Scrap, please try again later. Log in on your other fake name. I think this guy, maybe Sports Center didn't come in anymore. Now it looks like this lady is maybe his wife. I mean, you gotta say something crazy to get the cops to show up. Maybe he's getting a bill, but yet he hasn't been able to get a station in a month and they're still charging him. When these cops leave, I'll ask them. I'll drive up there and get a on-the-scene interview. Yeah. I'm getting down to the bottom line here. He thought he'd go in and voice his opinion that Sports Center was not lasting long enough and that the Michigan-Ohio State football game has been canceled and that somebody told him it was Spectrum's fault. It doesn't take much to get a disturbing the peace ticket. They can write you that for anything. Now he's going to go in there and figure out, did you have anything to do with the Michigan-Ohio State football game getting canceled? This is the time to have a treating psychiatrist. He's going to need to sign an affidavit that the guy is aggressive, but he isn't violent, and there's nothing to worry about. And the judge reads it and gives him a warning. Daisy takes it all in always. Daisy does not want any police officers reaching into the car. Oh, now that guy's not even going in with his mask. He's trying to figure out what in the hell is going on here. Now this guy on the bench is talking to this guy that just got here. He's probably telling him, go with DirecTV. They just called the police on me for voicing my concern about. Now he sits right down, right next to him on a bench. Jesus Christ. You know, you just can't dumb this stuff down any better. It's not social distancing, even with a mask. Maybe, you know what they're probably doing? They probably knew I was sitting out here and they're getting the fingerprints off the box that I turned in. Probably trying to stick them with some scotch tape and put them on the door where there was a bank robbery. That's how paranoid I'm getting. You gotta be kidding me, Natures. Now, I hope this car is going into the Spectrum, which I think they would be, because why would you park way down here? Now, they'll probably come over here. Here's one thing that people don't really understand fully. Well, going in, that's my man, going into the cable. That's what I want. Yeah, we're talking. This is hurting business. Now, this guy's talking to the guy that the cops came to visit. Oh, this is looking good. Here's what a lot of people don't understand, is the police can ask you all sorts of things that you don't have to answer. Another thing that people are confused about, oh, now this guy's pointing, he's pissed. Look at him, yeah. Jerry Springer, where are you? I love to see everybody arguing with masks on. You got to give them that. No, but cops can have, but you do have to produce ID. You do. This has been upheld to the Supreme Court. When a cop comes up, can I see your ID? You start giving him a hard time about, you know, I don't need to show you, I wasn't doing anything wrong. That's not going to fly. You have to produce ID. Pulling you over is one thing. Approaching you outside is another. In probable cause, they got you on that. These people are experts. I really don't think cops go around in general. There are exceptions. Oh, here's a lady. She's getting an earful. Look at her. This guy's saying, fuck this. I'm going over to DirecTV. Oh, yeah. This is looking good. No, but it's better than nothing, Piper. Nobody said it was 100% guarantee. You're better off with the mask than without one. Hey, Myth. There's a confrontation of some sorts here at the cable TV company. Now, you guys want to let's turn this into a bet. Bets for charity. This guy gonna go away in handcuffs or not? This guy gonna get arrested? He's pissed off though. The guy they came here for. See him on the right? As soon as these cops leave, I'll go up to him and say, what was this about? Oh, now this guy's pissed, pointing a finger at the cop. The new guy. The other guy said, I want to get in on the action. Now he's talking. This is what you call control. Now this cop can either let this get worse or let it get better. Who's going to control this scenario? Lawyers do that with their client. It's called client control. You don't want a client telling you how to be his lawyer. So see, we got the dynamics now. This could go either way. Here's the other cop. Oh, this guy's got the bank robber mask on. I think he's had enough with Spectrum. He didn't even go inside. He just came to give an earful. Here's another guy showing up. Oh, now the cop's doing aggressive hand motions like, you need to get out of here now, or I'm going to arrest you. Disturbing the peace. That's their go-to ticket. And then you go to hand the guy the ticket and he pushes your hand, then you arrest him for resisting arrest. And then it all gets really complicated and expensive. Note to self. Time to go into ass-kissing mode. This is no time to get aggressive. Yeah, disturbing the peace, yeah. And here's this guy. Calling the big artillery. Oh, now the cops are leaving. And the guy is staring through the window like a weirdo. And he's going back in. Boy, this is not going to work. And here's the other guy with the bank robber mask on. What's he doing? Oh, he's taking his whole shebang back. He's had it. Now the cop will come over. It's like, can I ask you what you're doing? What would you guys say? I'm documenting an occurrence. They just got a radio call. That Tom Reed, that weirdo that does those videos, he's backed up in his van with a dog in his lap. See if you can rack one off in his ass for something. Hey, Lost Souls. No, I'm gonna wait till this guy comes outside. I'm gonna say, hey, did they try and jack your cable bill up? Gotta get my mask ready. This is Tom Reed reporting. I'm gonna get to the bottom line, figure out just what went down here. It's kind of interesting because obviously somebody called the cops on this guy. The cops have left, and the guy walked inside the office before they left. You would have thought at a minimum that the Spectrum people would have said, we don't want you in here. Well, we're not sure. We're not sure. Cops got called, I guess, on a guy at this cable company. And they just left, and he went back inside. Not yet, she didn't, but she will. They're not coming up with the stuff as quick as they're supposed to. I actually got the state by the balls for about a $5,000 fine. I just haven't decided to take it to court yet, but I'm going to get them for another $5 if they wait through January. They're trying to take advantage with a loophole on the Freedom of Information Act time requirements. This governor ours signed an emergency order which gave him a break on one of them, but it didn't give him a break on the other. Oh, thank you, Jenna. Yeah, I'm wondering what car this guy is in. Daisy's doesn't care. I'm going to get to the bottom line, though, I'll tell you that. You know, maybe he didn't have his mask on when he went in there the first time. I'm sure it's a little tense in there right now. She is. Now here's the other guy he was a little pissed early. He's got an empty box now. I would, if I was a cop, I'd arrest this guy just by virtue of the way he looks. He's got that prepper head deal. This is way more than a mask. Here's the guy right here. They call the cops on you?
No.
Oh.
Somebody else. He got in an argument with a woman in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I got the wrong guy. You think that's going to make me go away? Not happening. He got in an argument in there. Well, I gotta wait for him to come out then. This is Tom Reed reporting West Branch. We're going to get to the bottom of this. What the argument was about, why, how it was resolved. I'll wait for number 2 to come out. I'm not making up things. Yeah, we're going to get to the bottom line. My detective skills are eroding. I followed the wrong guy. Oh no, here's somebody coming out the back door. Said, I'm not going to be in the office, this kook. That's good. It'll make it easier for me to pull up when I get the scoop. He said another guy got in an argument with the clerk. She's getting the hell out of Dodge. She's going to get her bulletproof vest on. Yeah, that cheater show is a lot of made up bullshit. I think most of that was staged. You know, that's why I didn't do that kind of work. Because people are unrealistic about what they expect to try and catch a spouse cheating. First of all, it's expensive. Even when people are having affairs, if they're married, I mean, you could watch them for 2 weeks and not catch them doing a thing. So all of a sudden they're getting these huge bills and you're not finding out anything, and they're thinking you're a big dumbass that does know his ass from a hole in the ground. When in the reality, it's just a very short period of time these things happen. And then even if you caught them, they're pissed that you don't have any action in them inside the hotel room or wherever they were. It's like, you can't do that kind of stuff. I'm just showing you. When your spouse goes in a hotel room with someone else, what do you think they're in there doing? Playing backgammon? I can't get film of them actually doing anything. You crazy? Then they don't want to pay you. Yeah, it's not reality. It's you know, if I'm married and I hire a PI and he gets film of my wife going in a hotel room with another guy, that's all I need. Yeah. But there's two sides to every story. I mean, if I just showed up right here and I was at a hotel room and I get a married guy coming out of a room with a woman half his age, everybody's going to think this guy's just a big jerk that should not be doing that. That why can't you get a divorce if you're unhappy? And then to kind of find out the wife's the real kook. And if you found out the truth, it would make more sense that he would have been fooling around 10 years prior to the day you caught him. You got to get both sides of the story. You can't speculate on what you think may have happened. You got to get the facts, which is what I'm going to do here. Yeah, Chuck, that's true. Good help. I mean, that doesn't mean to say that a college kid can't do a good job, but I know exactly what you mean. That was a difficult time getting to find quality help. You get someone out doing surveillance that doesn't know what they're doing, like me, and they're always getting busted. They're filming the wrong stuff. Yeah, but a lot of rip-off PR companies, they'll just put a warm body out there and hope nothing happens, because if nothing happens, you're charging the same. If you're the boss, what you're worried about is something happening and this screwball, unexperienced PI messing it up. Where if they're out there for 8 hours and nobody comes out of the house, well, that's, you've charged them $800, but you didn't get anything either. So yeah, you're exactly right though. How do you know about that? Have you been involved in surveillance, or did you work for a PI firm? This lady called in reinforcements. She canceled all installations. She wants all able-bodied men to show up to the office because the police have left and I've got a crazy in the lobby. This guy's been in here a long time and the cops have left. Now I'm even wondering. But you're right about the people doing surveillance that don't know what they're doing. Yeah, good help. PI work, it's more than just sitting out there. And it's funny you should say that, because, I didn't always have, if I had 10 investigators working for me, they all weren't of the same skill level. And if one was the best and 10 was the worst, 10 got the surveillance assignments on people that you rarely got to see out of their home. So you must have crossed paths with someone that have done this, or you were a claims examiner, or you were on the PI side, because otherwise that wouldn't occur to you. Yeah, they would never tell you. There's nobody in there besides this guy and I think his wife probably. Yeah, if they tell you to leave and you don't leave, that's exactly right. It's trespassing. Yep. But I don't think that's a problem here, because this guy went back in the store while the cops were there, which is just odd. That's a very good guess, intellectual. I have to second that. Yeah, I agree with you. That's a hell of a guess. Skidway Lake. Yeah, it's a big problem. Oh, there's a lot of things that go into doing surveillance properly. The kind of vehicle you have. I'll tell you, that's why this is an old surveillance vehicle that I have. And everybody's always asking me, why do you have a propane tank on there? Well, the reason I have one is because you could heat the van without the engine running. Because it doesn't take an Einstein. If you see a vehicle in your neighborhood and the engine's running all day long and no one's getting out, it's pretty obvious. So that's why I have propane in here. Now in the summer, fans work good enough in a place like Michigan, and you try and park under the shade. but the heat was the problem in the winter. It was just such an advantage to have this propane system hooked up. Now this place is getting busy. Yeah, but Chuck, I'm telling you, man. I mean, it's not just the PI. It's employees anywhere, whether it's cutting lunch meat or working in an emergency room as a nurse. I mean, employees are the Achilles heel of every operation. Being a good surveillance investigator is a real skill. It is. I mean, I thought I was okay at it, nothing exceptional. I had plenty of guys that worked for me that were way better at surveillance than I was. I mean, you learn to figure out what your strong points are. I mean, I did pretty good on getting people to talk and taped interviews. I thought I was pretty good at it. But as far as surveillance, I thought I was average at it. Yeah, there's a real knack. It's like playing a musical instrument, being good at sports. It's all of a sudden you got another guy that's just kicking your ass 3 years straight. He's got what it takes that lends itself to that kind of job. I thought I was good at getting clients. That's the hard part. You can be the best private detective in the world, and if no one's hiring you, so what? I didn't see any hand sanitizer when I went in there, but they got the big plastic things, so, and they're wearing masks, and so far everybody I've watched are wearing masks. I didn't do that much, but no, I didn't really care. I mean, I know one guy that was going to kill himself. One guy that was going to kill himself after I caught his wife fooling around with a guy half her age. And I felt bad for him. He was a good guy. But other than that, nah. Usually, by the time you get around to wanting to fork over that kind of money, you know something's going on. You just want to put the cherry on the top. You know? Hey, Pam. The cops got called on a guy that was arguing with a clerk at the Spectrum, and they talked to him. But then while the cops were still here, the guy went back in there, and which is weird, and the cops left. So I don't know what happened. Oh, thank you, Jessica. Oh, it's easy to cheat. That's a no-brainer. That's an easy one. What do you want to know why about people cheat? That's easy to figure out. I mean, cable is. I quit my cable. I don't watch it hardly at all. And what pissed me off, the final straw, was when I'd go to, you scroll up and down the thing, and sometimes datelines are kind of interesting. And here I'm trying to watch a 10-year-old Dateline, and they want me to upgrade. And then I want to go and watch Forensic Files, a new one. I want to upgrade. And these old shows, I'm supposed to be paying an upgrade fee for these old, ancient shows on TV. And then they raised it again to like 125, and I thought, this is just, I'm not, I never watch it. It's always in the back of my mind, why am I paying for this? So I'm glad that I did. I've done it before. Just not worth it. You got this bare bones package and it's costing you $125 a month, and you can't hold reruns without upgrading. Screw that. I did like watching American Greed, but even that's a screwy show. I mean, they'll have new filmed episodes and they'll keep showing this damn college bribery bullshit over and over and over. I mean, you would see the same broadcast within 2 weeks, and so I don't get the way they format some of these shows. Yeah, just I bet these workers are thinking, "Oh my God, this guy's been here an hour. Things must have got better." But see, I'm making another assumption. This is Private Detective School 101. It's another assumption based on no facts. Yeah, still in there. Yeah, Netflix, those bastards billed me 2 years after I canceled the subscription. When I tried to challenge it, they told me to go pound sand. And somehow they got my charge card to go along with it too. I'll never get Netflix again till the day I die. Another thing I don't like about Netflix, when they did that murder show about that guy that killed that girl that was working for Auto Trader, here they bill it as a documentary. But I later found out that there were fragments of bone from that lady they found in his burn barrel. So if you're going to be putting documentaries out there and you're going to have hardcore evidence like that, and you knew this guy was responsible for her murder, and you don't mention that in your documentary, that's bullshit. So basically they were editing out to make it compelling, to make it look like this guy didn't do it. And you kind of thought he didn't do it. That's because you didn't know they found bones of hers in a burn barrel. When I found that out later, that was just one more cog in the wheel of not wanting to have anything to do with Netflix. Screw them. Not in the documentary, they didn't. Well, I know more Ma, Jackie. What happened? You're right, Jessica. No, no, I watched the follow-up programs later. Because if they'd have shown the bones in the burn barrel, there wouldn't have been all the public support about him being innocent. I mean, how can a guy be innocent when you found burned bone fragments? And most people thought he was innocent. Well, that goes out the door when you know that. Oh, did they? Yeah, I don't know why. Did you ask him, Jackie? Did you ask him? Did this guy go out the back door or something? I mean, this is weird. Oh, okay. Jackie, were you blocking people? Is that what you were doing, blocking people, and that ticked them off? That's a good guess. No, she didn't, Jessica. Where are you coming up with this crap? That's not true. Maddie didn't get clean to move in with her dad. Where are you coming up with this? No, you didn't see that on the last video. I just watched her live last night. She was going to go visit her dad, and she's not clean. That's probably it then, Jackie. That's right, Lisa. Who are you talking about, Sharon? Well, what would make you think she got clean? It's never been mentioned. She never said it. Where do you come up with this stuff? I'm asking because I don't really want you on here if you're going to bring up bullshit like that that's patently false. You're probably a troublemaker. But Eileen Warmus was 100% guilty. She admitted to it. She had effective counsel. She was 100% guilty. Yeah, I think she had a bad life, and things could have went a different way. I mean, it's unfortunate, but she admitted lying at the end, and you may have had there's lots of people that have bad, unfortunate lives that don't murder people. I mean, I did feel sympathetic for the way life treated her. And it wouldn't have mattered if she had the smartest attorney in the world or the dumbest once she confessed. And she did that under the name of Christianity. You didn't read that in the comments because nobody said that. And if anybody would have, it would have been disputed. You didn't read it. You didn't read it in the comments. Yeah, Jessica, I think you gotta go, hon. I'm gonna have to get rid of you. We just don't want that kind of bullshit around here. You can go officially. You've met the criteria to join a hate channel now. I'm trying to, but when my phone gets hot like this, when I push the screen, it won't let me get rid of her. Can you do it? I can't do it. Yeah, sorry for any technical difficulties. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I guess your reading comprehension is gonna have to improve, Jessica. Maybe someday you can come back, but yep. Sorry for any technical difficulties. Please try again later. Well, I think I'm about. I'd love to know why why he's still in there. Is there another way you can go out? No, I don't. Shit, it makes it look. It seems like it, doesn't it? I don't see anybody standing in there. Although there's a place where you can sit down. I'd like to get to the bottom of this, but I would like to at least get one thing done today. Well, I'm not going to get to the bottom line like I was hoping to. Yeah, good eye on that, Pam. Because you're right. Maddie never said that. And I was on there live yesterday, and that's how rumors and drama get started, which is how a lot of these channels get going. So I think we did the right thing in consulting one another and swinging the axe. And it's the same thing everybody says when they get called out on starting bullshit. Oh, I thought I read it. No, you didn't read it. Time to go. On to the Nitty channel. Yeah, I thought Eileen Morris had a difficult, unfortunate life. And everybody she trusted turned on her. But, and I'm not condoning it, but I can understand how women that have been treated that way could become aggressive and take it out on men that they just couldn't stand the thought of doing what they did with them and just acting out that way. But she didn't want to go to meet her maker and not come clean, which is why she admitted to what she did. She even admitted that the whole story was a lot of bullshit and that she lied. And deathbed repentance, that's one big thing in Christianity that I just really can't embrace. I find it difficult to believe that you can just do anything you want up until the day of reckoning comes and then ask for forgiveness and end up where everybody else did that led a good life. Timothy McVeigh did the same thing. He asked forgiveness before they ended his life. And God, I hope it's not true. Maybe it is, but God, it certainly isn't logical. How do you blow up a whole building full of working people and children in daycare centers, and in the last 30 seconds of your life end up where everybody else did that wouldn't think of doing something like that? I just don't buy it. My mother always said that if I didn't get better grades in school, I was going to end up driving a garbage truck. Actually, I don't think it'd be a bad job. By yourself. Garbage never complains. Decent pay. I wouldn't have a problem driving a garbage truck. Garbage is running late today. It's usually picked up around 9:30. I think this phone quit working anyway. Got the same chant from Lisa last. When it gets hot, it does that. Well, sorry I didn't get the answer from that guy, you guys. I'll be on later tonight. You guys have a good day today. But it looks like my chat is stuck. You ready to go inside, honey? Have a good day, you guys.